everything that you are or going to be immersed in. Maybe you're not. Maybe people are joining. I can't see. I don't want to touch my screen. So welcome if you're joining. And wherever you are in this, it's all good. What's really crazy is that most people don't understand how long menopause lasts. Whenever I ask this question, so how long do you think menopause lasts? No one gets the right answer. Some people say 10 years, 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 20 years. I've heard 20 years. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, that's not true. Okay. It's really like a misnomer. No one knows this magical thing. Are you ready for this? So you put this in your back pocket, because when you can use this as a trivial pursuit thing, or bring it up at Thanksgiving. Hey, how long do you think menopause lasts? Menopause lasts 24 hours. Okay, 24 hours. I know you're all like, no way. Oh my God, are you, Laura? I'm done. Don't log off. Please don't log off. I know it sounds crazy, but literally, physiologically, scientifically, it's a 24-hour event. Menopause is a 24-hour event, but it's semantics. It's really semantics. We experience perimenopause and postmenopause. That doesn't speak to the menopause itself, which is only 24 hours. So the point at which a woman's cycle literally stops, like there's a clock, and it's like boom, it stops. Now you have, in perimenopause, you have irregular periods. That's sort of the intermediary period, but menopause itself is only 24 hours physiologically. I know it's crazy, and you can Google it. I only have that much information, and I have looked through various sources, and everything says the same. So I think that terminology is important, and probably people need to change. We need a different vocabulary, right? And it should basically be perimenopause and postmenopause. Otherwise, people are like, I'm in menopause. Well, really? That's only 24 hours. Okay, anyway. I know I'm getting into the weeds here, so I'm going to move on. Just know the actual physiological event of menopause is only 24 hours. Doesn't matter, because we all experience, the pre-event and the post-event. Okay, and this is just my funny slide. I thought I was having a hot flash this morning, and then I realized my boobs were just in my coffee. Anybody experience that? I'm laughing.
Yeah.
If I had boobs, that might be the case, but I don't have them. But this is just a funny slide. I mean, hot flashes are, I think, the thing that I hear the most about. Okay, so tonight's agenda, we're going to cruise through it really fast. Of course, if there are questions, I'm going to do a follow-up webinar, because there's so much as I was building this one that I was like, I can't do this all in 1 hour. I can't. Everything that I've learned over probably 5 years, I can't do it all in 1 hour, but I'm condensing it down to what would be pertinent, and really action items are what I'm aiming at in particular here in this webinar. So our agenda is to talk about the science of menopause and energy, to talk about cortisol, mitochondria. I'm really big on my mitochondria these days, everyone is, and mood. And then functional nutrition, this is where the action comes in. Functional nutrition and energy for hormone balance. And then evidence-based supplements that you can be using to help yourself through this period. Okay, so the overall session goals, if I do my job, and I don't know, hopefully I can do my job right. I'm already failing at it because I hate technology. We have to understand.
No, you're great.
Keep on. Thank you.
Keep on.
Yay, thank you. So my goal is to impress upon you how to understand energy and mood shifts. And then we're going to explore cortisol and mitochondria, my favorite energy powerhouses in our body, those connections, and then learn nutritional and supplemental strategies that build resistance. not resistance, resilience. We can't resist. We have to acquiesce, but we can build resilience. Okay, so let's talk about mitochondria. Mitochondria are all the rage. I don't know. Some of you ladies might be seeing it in your social media. I don't know, your news, whatever news you're capturing, if you're at all into, health and wellness. Mitochondria is like coming at the forefront. And it's really fascinating because when I was at Promega and after my breast cancer diagnosis, one of the PhD scientists at Promega gave me a book. And I still I'm on a search to find that book. I don't think I have it because when you move, you lose all the stuff. And the author of that book, because he was like right on, and he was trying to basically give me the message that mitochondria are the key to a lot of things. They really are the key to life when you think about them being our energy, and when you think about the fact that we are forms of energy. How do we continue to fuel our energy? Well, through our mitochondria. Not everyone talks about this, but I'm on a hot path and I'm doing a lot of stuff and I'm a beginner at it. But you're going to see a lot of stuff in this talk about mitochondria and cortisol because those two things are really the two key, in my, humble opinion, key factors when it comes to menopause. Okay, so estrogen's role in supporting mitochondrial function, it has a big role in supporting mitochondrial function, neurotransmitter. You all know about neurotransmitters. Those are I talk about it in yoga a lot. They're like the little signals that get passed from the brain to the body to tell the body what to do, relax, or, do something different. They're like, you know, the trigger, the, you push the button on your computer, I need this to process, boom. Neurotransmitters are the processor. Okay, and so then, and mitochondria are also involved in glucose metabolism, so blood sugar regulation. Those are really key things. Blood sugar regulation, mitochondria, cortisol, those are the three key things. And you're going to see that through. I'm giving you the end game. And so let me rewind and go back to my mitochondria, my favorite little powerhouses. They produce ATP. That's your energy, right? We've all been through science. I'm sure you probably remember, I'm bringing you back to high school science. ATP, adenosine triphosphate, right? Super important. That's your energy. So estrogen directly stimulates the mitochondria, and those mitochondria generate your energy, your ATP. When the estrogen is balanced, in pre-menopause, pre-perimenopause, our cells produce steady energy. Our muscles recover faster, our brain feels sharp, we're focused. Remember those days? Emily's like still in them, I'm sure. Nonetheless, you know, it's that decline. We don't even know what's going to happen to us. You don't know what you don't know, right? We don't even realize when we're in that optimal state that it could decline, and it's going to decline, but it doesn't have to. That's the whole basis of my talk. So neurotransmitter balance. Estrogen also regulates the key mood-related transmitters like serotonin, dopamine, GABA. You guys are all familiar with those terms, I'm sure. Serotonin and dopamine, those are your happy hormones. Everybody knows those, right? But you might not be familiar with GABA. Who knows what GABA is?
I do not.
Okay, so GABA is gamma amino butyryl acid. And what it does is it sort of downplays, it helps you focus. So a lot of people get put on GABA. It's a natural, if you get it natural, it's a natural supplement to calm the brain down. It's used for anxiety. It calms the brain. It slows it down.
Oh, is
It's
that like
really,
what gabapentin addresses?
yeah, right, exactly. So
Got
if you,
it.
yeah, bingo. So when you see GABA, you can relate it to that. It's like, ooh, let's slow things down because we're all in hyperspeed, right? We have to be these days. You've got to be multitasking. You've got like, your computer open and your iPad and your phone, like I do, to do this presentation. Oh, somebody please GABA stat. Sorry. But that's,
Truth.
that's the, so those three things though, serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. Serotonin and dopamine, they are pleasure molecules. Like they induce calm, pleasure. And GABA slows everything down. It's a specific neurotransmitter that slows the brain down. And, they use it a lot for, kids with ADHD, all of the, I'm not sure that's not the proper term anymore, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, those
It
sort
is
of.
the proper term, Laura. You're fine.
Thank you. I know I'm so aware of the political environment these days. I'm like,
I
oh,
know.
I don't want to say anything wrong. And, I mean, I'm also not super up to date. I try to keep up to date on the science behind everything. I really do because I'm a scientist. And so everything that you see here is based on the most updated information I could find. Okay. So this is why healthy estrogen levels are associated with a more stable mood, motivation, emotional resilience. Remember the days when you're like, I'm calm, everything's cool, you're motivated, you have a lot of energy and emotional resilience. Like you could tolerate someone in your face, it doesn't bother you. Like when you start recognizing like this stuff used to not bother me. And this person is like, wait, hitting all my triggers. And why is that? Okay, when you start tipping the scales to that point, it could have a lot to do with, these things that we're talking about. With less with less estrogen, blood sugar tends to fluctuate as well, and that leads to our energy dips. Anybody feel energy dips throughout their day? I do.
Yes.
Carb cravings, weight gain. Yeah. All of that has to do with less estrogen. It declines as we go in, as we're in menopause. You all know that. This is not something I'm telling you that's new. So we're going to move on to more important things like declining estrogen. Oops, we talked about that. Okay, so estrogen declines during perimenopause, and that could be at any age. It could be anywhere from my sister she was 42 and in perimenopause. So it could be even earlier than that. It could be in, your middle 30s. And we need to not judge that. We really need to be careful because, everyone's different, everyone's a fingerprint, and the point is to recognize what's going on and then do what we can to mitigate symptoms, right? So perimenopause, menopause, what happens when the estrogen declines is mitochondrial efficiency declines as well in correlation, right? So the mitochondria, remember the energy systems of your cells? They produce less ATP when estrogen drops, and then our brains don't function as well. Our muscles have less energy to do the work that they need to do. Then we add to that oxidative stress. That's increased because estrogen is no longer it doesn't have the ability to be used as an antioxidant because that's the other thing that it does. Estrogen acts as an antioxidant. So it does not help mitochondria anymore to increase ATP production. And then it is also less effective at its antioxidant job, right? So those two things coupled create fatigue, brain fog, poor focus, mood swings. Familiar? Not familiar?
Yes, but I've also expanded it to an excuse with my pseudo husband to do all the work around the house.
Oh my God, Rebecca, thank you. That is so hilarious. Give me 2.2 seconds to open the door. I didn't realize one of my dogs is out. Hang on. Having a hissy fit. Yogi. Oh my God. And his name is Yogi. He's a yogi. Well, he tries to be a yogi. All of you are yoginis. We're all women. There's no men in this group. They're not allowed.
Yay.
So moving on, mood swings, fatigue, brain fog, poor focus, mood swings, all of those things, of course, because our estrogen goes down as we age. Okay, this slide is a little, I threw it up when I was trying to review it just before class, and it's probably a little hard to see. You guys are going to get the PDF of this after, but just see the key elements here, the key boxes, the colored boxes, because now we want to talk about cortisol and sleep.
Hey,
So,
Laura, really quick. Um, do you see at the bottom of your screen where it says app Zoom us is sharing your screen? You can click the hide button.
oh,
Do you
hold
see
on.
at the bottom?
At the
The white
bottom.
the no the white box. You don't need to change anything with the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
You see where it says app.zoom.us is sharing your screen, and it gives you the option to either stop sharing or hide. You can click hide.
Yes.
See?
Oh, do I have hide on?
No, we can see what you see right now, like the
Okay,
hide
good.
button. We can see this. You can just close it. Just click hide. It won't do anything to what you're presenting it.
Ah, okay,
Oh,
great.
thank you. I thought it was me on my end and I
No,
was
no, that's
messing
why
with
it can be
it.
confusing.
Oh
No
my
problem.
God. Rebecca, I'm gonna pay you after class.
No, no. You're paying me with knowledge.
Oh my God. Wow, she's so texted. Thank you.
No
I think I
problem.
did what you were asking me to do. Nonetheless, the slide is really like, I don't know how to, it doesn't matter. I think, can you see, at least if you can see the words in the boxes, because my eyes are not so good because I'm old. I can't see the smaller text, but the important thing is to see and understand the cycle of sleep and cortisol, right? And we're going to go in deeper. This is just a, surface level slide, and it's to talk about how we have difficulty sleeping, like most people, right? Who doesn't? Does anybody here have no problem sleeping?
No, I'm on like 3 prescriptions for it.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Oh, Rebecca, I'm sorry. I mean, and that's normal, right? That's what we do because our sleep is it's so challenging. Perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. It just is. I mean, when we're kids, we're at our best, right? And we can't go back to that. But how can we mitigate what we're feeling? We can. We can tip the scales to our favor. So sleep becomes compromised for many reasons. The big reason is cortisol. The biggest thing I can say, without like going into too much like deep dive on this slide, is many people screw up their sleep cycle, and that affects the cortisol. How do they do that? They eat before they go to bed. They're on their electronics before they go to bed. They're erratic about the time that they go to bed, and they don't have a dark environment when they go to bed. Those things are really, really key in terms of your cortisol. If you eat 1 to 2 hours before you go to sleep, you're going to mess up your cortisol graph, and your body's going to go, oh, okay, it's morning, I have energy, and it's you're going to go to sleep, maybe you sleep okay, but you're going to wake up way sooner than you should because your body has metabolized the food you ate way too close to bed. And then your body goes, the cortisol says, okay, time to wake up, there's energy here, we need to use it, right? In short, that's what happens. And so that's with food. FELT is the acronym I've used for years. A lot of you have heard it. Food, no food at least 2 hours before you go to bed. Even 1 hour is enough. If you have to have something, it's fine, but try to keep it 1 hour prior to going to bed. The E is electronics. Stop your electronic activity for at least 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed, same as food. T, time. Go to bed at the same time every night. Be consistent. Your body likes to be in rhythm. Ask nature. I live in a place where like everybody goes to bed, myself included, when the sun goes down usually. It's really remarkable. And then the last one is light. Oops, that's time. I skipped one. Light. No light in your environment. Darkness is important. And so if you have even an LED light, if you've got an alarm clock with a light on it, stop that. Don't put your phone in your room. Have zero light. And if you can't do that, because maybe you've got, maybe you live in the city, that's why they have blackout curtains, of course, but use an eye shade. Put an eye shade. Is that what it's called? I forget what that's called. Go to bed with an eye mask and make, make there's no ability for light to come in when that happens. So those things are important in terms of sleep, which relate to cortisol. So again, when your cortisol starts spiking like that, it affects your sleep. And when it affects your sleep, when you are trying to sleep, has anybody been in the situation where like, oh my God, you wake up and you're like, I can't, you're like trying to force yourself to sleep. Like, oh my God, I got a big
Yeah, that
presentation.
was my yesterday.
Yeah, right, Rebecca. And then it's an endless cycle. All of a sudden you're like hyperventilating. Oh my God, I have this going on tomorrow and that going on. I got to go to sleep right now. And also check what your face is doing. This is not part of this presentation. I don't have it integrated in here, but it goes to the outer body rolling stuff. Recognize when you're in that mode of like, oh my God, I'm wide awake and you're looking at the clock and you're like, I only have 4 more hours. I better go to sleep. We've all been there, I'm sure. And then you have jacked up your cortisol even more, right? You have sent your nervous system back into sympathetic when it's trying to go to parasympathetic. Parasympathetic is sleep. And so when you do those things in your mind, you just keep the gears going and you can't, you can't get out of that loop until and unless you do a few things. Check where your tongue is in your mouth. Drop it away from the roof of your mouth. Check your facial muscles because all of whatever your patterns are in your face, maybe you furrow your brow during the day, you purse your lips, you clench your jaw, all those things. Just do a boom, boom, boom checklist. I do this and it works really well. Okay, I'm going to soften my forehead. Oh yeah, I'm going to let go of my jaw's clenched. Let it go. Take some deep breaths. As you're doing this, take some deep breaths. Let the skin of your face melt down. Like imagine the skin of your forehead melting down toward the temples, and you'll go to sleep. It's really simple and sounds really stupid, but try it. And when it doesn't work, message me. Okay, because it's really important because when you're doing that cyclical loop, you are increasing your cortisol, and that's telling your body it's time to be awake, it's time to be alert, it's time to do something. No, it's not. We need to be sleeping, right? This slide, okay, hopefully I described that. I can't, you probably can't either see all of the different small 4-point font. So sorry. I mean, I saw this and I thought it looked good and it doesn't, but hopefully that you get the point. Like it's a cyclical thing and we need to really be aware of it. When you're aware of it, you can fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Laura, dark side note on the importance of sleep. In the Middle Ages, actually, they used the lack of sleep to torture people. They called it tormentum insomniae, and they kept people awake for 3 to 7 days until they went insane.
Oh, wow. As a torture tool?
Yeah, It's called tormentum insomniae in Latin.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, Rebecca. Oh my, okay. Thank you for sharing that. Does everybody get that? So, you know, that's important. Thank you for sharing that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And it makes sense when you think about how insane we get without sleep, right? And yet we can control our sleep as long as we know the simple methods to control it. Think about that acronym. Don't ever forget FELT, 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 F, F, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I already forgot. F is,
Food.
thank you, no food. Oh my gosh, thank you. Someone remembers that.
Well,
Yay,
I
you passed
forgot
the
for a
test.
second. It was
And I
like,
forgot
what's
too. Oh my God, what's the E? Oh my God, I'm having a menopause moment.
Electronics? Is it electronics?
Yes, yay. Oh my God, thank you, Rebecca. What's the L? I don't remember. I'm having another menopause moment.
Is it
light?
light?
Yes. Oh, awesome. And what's the T?
Time.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Thank you. Who said that?
Marina.
Who?
Marina.
Maria, thank you. Oh my God. All right, you guys are my heroes. I was having 4 menopause moments. I could not remember 4 simple letters. And you all did. You passed the test. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that you're the Diana Ross and we're just the Supremes.
I wish. Oh my God, Rebecca.
So do we ever
Oh,
get this back? Like our brain back?
yeah. Okay. Yes. Marina. Yes. 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 But it takes work. And we're going to get to that.
Okay.
100%. 100%. We're going to get to that. Look at me. What's the F? Oh my God.
Well, well, that happened to
Actually,
me too.
it was a great quiz moment. And you all, it was totally, it was a little bit, you know, choreographed, but you all passed. It's fantastic. FELT. No food, no electronics. Get rid of your light at night. Go to bed at the same time. Okay. And you'll get your break. Marina, I promise it'll come back. As long as you do these things. Okay. So let's talk about weight and body composition because that's another ugly thing that happens in menopause. Your body just kind of starts to morph around like it's an amoeba. You know, I'm into soil science right now, as you all know. I have a microscope. I'm doing a lot of soil microscopy, and I see these amoebas, and I'm like, that looks like wait, that looks like my body. Wait, that was my body yesterday. No, wait. As the amoebas move, like they put weight in their bottom part of the body, then it moves up to the top, and then it gets, equal. And yeah, that's kind of what happens to us in menopause. So weight starts to distribute itself in different ways. Anybody knows that? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I started noticing it during COVID, and then I went on what I called the COVID diet, where I would just buy clothes that were a size or two larger than me, and everyone would think I lost weight. It worked really well.
Rebecca, that's brilliant. Oh my God. Brilliant. I love it. Ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. I have nothing that I can share that's more intelligent than that, but I'm going to try. I'm going to go on my. That's so great. That's so brilliant, Rebecca. Okay. I'm not going to stop laughing. I'm going to try though. Okay. So we have all these gears, all these things are integrated in when it comes to what happens to our body weight, right? And our body composition. And these mechanisms, they amplify each other over time, right? Which is like, it's not bad enough that we're in menopause. They create compounded effects. And, and then, it's just a cyclical loop like the last loop that you saw. And so the BMR, our BMR starts to decline. A BMR is your basal metabolic rate, Okay, how do I define that without going to too much detail? Basal metabolic rate relates to how many calories you need based on your activities, based on how much gas are you putting in the tank and how much of that gas are you going to use. Our basal metabolic rate, it decreases. So we put gas in the tank, but it doesn't get used. Let's think of it that way. Okay. And that relates to all these other gears. So basal metabolic rate you see in the center of your screen, that relates to thyroid function. Oops, there's two thyroid functions. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, that's a bad. Just see one gear there, thyroid function.
No, Laura, you should just play it off like hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism.
Right, that's
You're
what
welcome.
was. That's Rebecca. I'll pay you later. You're awesome. Okay, and it ties into fat redistribution, muscle loss, insulin resistance, because that's also what happens, and then cortisol dysregulation, which we talked about just a little bit. All right, I'm going to blame AI because that's an AI generated image. Based on what I was trying to tell it to do, it messed up. But
Okay, I was curious because it said 9, but I counted 7 and I kept recounting, wondering if I was wrong.
oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, I didn't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you're right.
We're gonna blame AI.
Okay, don't trust AI, you guys. Moral of the story. Okay, I just want to say I was trying to do that for expedience, and then you don't trust me on anything else. 90% of this is not generated by AI, at least 90%. Okay, because I mean, I'm pulling some things in, as you guys all know. I'm sure in this world, in this day and age, Oh my
Hey,
God.
Laura, the great thing is you can blame any mistakes on menopause. That's what I've learned, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly, exactly. Having menopausal moments all of the time. Thank you, Rebecca. This
Throw it in
isn't
there for anything.
smart, right? For sure. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm going way over. I'm going to try to get through this. Okay, so let's talk about this is not AI, Jen. This is all factual. It's all factual, but some things with AI are a little bit, awry. Okay, so let's talk about the weight and body composition because everybody wants to know why is this happening? Why is this going? Why are my boobs going to my gut? Why are my legs? There's a reason. First of all, we have metabolic shutdown. So the basal metabolic rate decreases by 200 to 300 calories per day, and that because of declining estrogen. And that, of course, and then we're still eating the same, right? Because that's what we're habituated to. We still eat the same, but our BMR is not the same. Fat redistribution, so our fat starts to shift. It goes from the hips and the thighs to the gut, the belly, the menopause belly. And this increases heart disease and diabetes, of course, the risk for them. The risk, I should say. No, it does not it's not a game over. You're gonna if you've got this, you're definitely gonna have heart disease and diabetes. Definitely not the case. Hopefully you saw that last one. Let me go back. The last one is the last one, muscle loss, accelerated sarcopenia, which means atrophy. It's the muscles start, declining because our estrogen starts to decrease, and we all probably have experienced that. Not fun. Of course, you can do things to compensate for that, and resistance training, weight training, some of those are definitely going to help to compensate, but we're going to talk about functional nutrition and how it helps. Okay, insulin resistance is another thing that happens. So the cells become less insulin sensitive, and so it's harder to regulate your blood sugar. And this promotes midsection fat storage, belly fat, right? And also cravings. And then cortisol dysregulation, of course, chronic stress plays in, hormonal changes. They are the perfect storm for fat storage in the belly. Cortisol promotes belly fat accumulation, period. I mean, it's really just, it's cortisol. It all comes down to mitochondria and cortisol. If I can say any of two words you're going to pull from this talk, those are the two. Appetite and satiety. Okay, so leptin and ghrelin, are you guys familiar with those terms? Those are hormones. Those are two hormones that
Yep.
when they're disrupted, yes, okay. So we can think of ghrelin as your gut hormone. It's produced in the gut and it is what causes cravings. So ghrelin says, hey, I need ice cream. Or, hey, I need brownies. Or, hey, I need chips and salsa. Oh my God. Rebecca, I know you know what I'm saying. Because you were in the
Sure
class.
do.
Yes, I remember you in the abs class at Capital Fitness when I would come in and go, I'm sorry I'm late because I had to have my chips and salsa.
Oh, you do remember. Yes, see?
You,
Exactly.
I just had that flashback memory. Oh my God,
Yeah.
crazy.
You're like, is it wrong that I had just chips and salsa for dinner? And I was like, no,
You're
it's
not
so
connected.
right.
I
So wrong
remember
and so
you
right.
connected with me. I remember you were like, oh my God, Laura, that's my obsession too. Or like, oh, let's talk after class.
Yep.
We could be in, there's an AA, alcohol.
It's
There's a
an
salsa
essay.
essay,
Salsa
salsa
Anonymous.
anonymous. We're in it for sure. But that's ghrelin. So the ghrelin is the hormone in the gut that says, I want this. And it drives us to do it, right? And leptin is a police officer that says, no, 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 no. If you do that, you're going to screw everything up, please. So at least we have a police officer, right? The leptin is the police officer. The ghrelin, which is the hormone that is excreted through the gut, that's what tells us, hey, you need to do this. You need, caramel corn or whatever, so chips and salsa. So that creates, of course, more carb cravings. Um, and then we have reduced fullness after eating. Okay, what's the next one? The last three are sleep disruption. Hot flashes and night sweats they disrupt the leptin, which is, your police officer, and the ghrelin, which is the gut hormone that says, I need this and that. It's the one that's addicted, not us. Blame it on ghrelin. A growth hormone. Okay, and all of this increases our appetite and it increases the potential for fat storage. And that's why we start to gain weight. We also, well, by and large, we have reduced activity. Why? Because of the mitochondria. I'm going to just draw it right back to the mitochondria. They're your ATP producers. They give you energy. When you don't have energy, you don't want to work out, right? Fatigue, joint pain, all those things start coming on and you can't move anymore. We have fewer calories burned as a result, and then our muscles start to atrophy. Oh my God, it's such a depressing story. Okay, but we're going to get to the flip side. Thyroid function is another thing that plays in. Menopause can unmask or worsen any thyroid issue. This directly affects our metabolism, our energy, and our weight regulation. Okay, so there's a lot I can say about thyroid, but it's not part of this talk. It's just those are the 9 things that are the reason that our weight and body composition change through menopause. And now let's talk about functional nutrition for
Hey,
hormone.
oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Laura. I'm sorry. I have to jump on another call, but
Oh
and forgive me the other attendees for my interruptions. I tend to
no
get jazz
worries!
hands after school. Um,
Yay! Oh my
but
God!
I will follow up with you guys and thank you so much for bringing this to my attention.
Oh my God! That's awesome. Is that Carrie?
No, this is Rebecca.
Oh, it is Rebecca still. Okay, 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 Rebecca. Oh my God, Rebecca, it was so great to connect.
Yeah.
And bless you. I know you got to go. It's right at the hour, and you'll
Yep.
get the recording, so you'll get the rest of it, and we'll connect
Perfect.
after.
It
Thank
sounds
you.
like I got the depressing part, so the good stuff is ahead.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay,
Yay.
thank you, Laura. Nice
Awesome.
meeting you
Love you
guys.
so much.
Okay,
Great to
love
meet
you too. Bye.
you. Take good care. Bye bye. Okay, so functional nutrition for hormone, energy and hormone balance. This is where the talk leads into how you can, mitigate those things. So functional nutrition empowers us to balance our hormones naturally, restore our energy production, navigate menopause with clarity. Grace is not the word in there, but I add it. Clarity, grace, vitality, and strength. We can do it. We can. So there are 6 keys to success. One is the root cause, focus. The next is stabilizing blood sugar. The next is supporting the mitochondrial energy. We talked about why mitochondrial are important. The next is balancing cortisol and adrenal health. Now, cortisol is produced by your adrenal glands. They also produce adrenaline. I didn't talk about that because cortisol is the main player in menopause. Enhancing detox and estrogen metabolism is the next, and then personalizing your plan for success. So those are the 6 key things that we can do to, downplay the symptoms. Okay, so then we'll talk about all 6 of these really quickly. The root cause, so functional nutrition, I love it. This is my job, basically. It looks, well, other than the other jobs I do, as you all know, it looks beyond the symptoms like the fatigue and the hot flashes. And it looks to uncover why the energy and the hormones are imbalanced. So we start to explore the adrenal function, thyroid health, blood sugar, the gut microbiome, which is really huge. I could do like 10 lectures on that. And the liver detox pathways, could do 20 on that. Too much for now. The second bullet point was stabilizing blood sugar. So balancing blood sugar is critical as well in terms of mitigating menopausal symptoms, perimenopausal symptoms. So balancing blood sugar, when we do that, we balance our hormones. So how do we do that? Consistent protein, fiber, healthy fats at every meal. They prevent the insulin spikes. The insulin spikes are related to dysregulation of your blood sugar. And that's what leads to hot flashes, mood swings, mid-afternoon crashes, brain fog. I don't have that on here, but all of those things we don't want. So supporting the mitochondria and the energy, we do this through functional nutrition by boosting the efficiency of the mitochondria with nutrients like B vitamins. You've all heard of those. You're probably taking them. I hope you're taking multiple, not just one, not just B1, B2, B12, all of them. A multi-B vitamin is really important. Magnesium is important, CoQ10, and then antioxidants, hopefully from really colorful whole foods. The more colorful the food is, probably the more vitamins and minerals you're going to get from it. Just kind of, if there's any takeaway I can give you in terms of what you're putting in your mouth, keep that in mind. When you go grocery shopping, you're buying fruits and vegetables, the more brilliant it is in color, it definitely has more of the nutrients and the antioxidants that you want. So put that in your head. I use that all the time when I go to the farmer's market here. I'm like, oh, that looks, even though sometimes I don't know what I'm buying because there's so many fruits here and vegetables I've never heard of. But if it looks really brilliant in color, I'm like, it's got to be good for you. And then I go research it. I go home, buy it, go home, research it, figure out how to cook it, and then I fall in love. It's an amazing romantic story. Okay, the next point is balancing cortisol and adrenal health. So chronic stress, we all know, and we're all subject to it. It depletes progesterone, which is sort of the male hormone, and that worsens our estrogen imbalance. Okay, so the progesterone estrogen balance, it toggles. Those two kind of are like bouncing back and forth all the time throughout our lives, our adult lives. And of course, estrogen starts to deplete. So does progesterone, and all of those things attribute to what we experience as symptoms. So how do we mitigate those? Through adaptogens. Now, what are adaptogens? Plants, believe it or not, plants inherit, this is where comes my soil biology comes in. Okay, and I'm really trying not to go into that because it's a whole nother subject, but it really ties in to our nutrition and this talk. But just let's boil it down to the adaptogens and what they do in plants. And if our plants aren't healthy, because our soil might not be healthy, that's, the linchpin. But once we understand that adaptogens are compounds that exist in plants that help them to fight off disease, predators, fungus, whatever it is that ails a plant or kills a plant, they have inherent adaptogenic compounds in them. So imagine that if you consume a plant that has adaptogens, because those things that are affecting the plant and trying to harm them are very much the same things that harm us. So if we consume a plant that has aptogens, or is high in aptogenic, capacity compounds, then it helps us to fight off and resist viral infection, fungal infection, all of these things, right? So adaptogenic herbs are very, very key. And I talk about that in my 3-month course. If anybody's been through it, we have a whole, I think, week on that, where one webinar is all about that. Mindful eating is important, rest, of course, proper nutrition, all of these things help the adrenal glands to come back into balance and be in rhythm and be resistant. Okay, the adrenal glands, which of course produce the cortisol and your adrenaline. Now we're talking about enhancing detox and estrogen. So a healthy liver and a gut microbiome help to clear the estrogens and the toxins. And so this is really important. And the way we can do this through functional nutrition is to get more cruciferous vegetables. Those are like your broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. Those are the cruciferous vegetables. Fermented foods are really awesome for this as well. Also, make sure that you're drinking enough water. Nobody does. I guarantee you, like, water is a number one thing that people miss. So if I'm going to give you one takeaway, drink more water throughout your day, be more conscious of it. Adequate hydration, super important. And then all these things, of course, are going to help with detoxing and maintaining proper metabolism. And now we're talking about personalizing your plan. Okay, so functional nutrition in my programs, you can use lab data. I think you've all seen my emails. I've talked endlessly about my functional blood chemistry analysis certification. I can do that for you. It's pretty amazing. So we can't change what we can't measure, but if you can measure it, then you know where you're off. If you measure your biomarkers, which are telling you how's your adrenal health, how is your blood sugar, how is, your cortisol, all of those things can be measured through functional blood and more, many more. I'm just like off the top of my head talking about some of the things, but there are myriad biomarkers that we can use to monitor how you're managing your premenopause, menopause, postmenopause, right? And then there's also hormone panels, which are kind of a sidebar, but they link into the functional blood chemistry analysis. We do all of that. And what comes out of that is, and this is software that I have access to, of course, through Optimal DX, my teacher, who's a functional med doctor. And I use his software to plug your blood chemistry results in to spit out the data that tells you, okay, it flags everything like, okay, you're at risk for this or this, blah, blah, blah. And then it also provides a health improvement plan, showing you what you can do to navigate differently and what vegetables, fruits, supplements you can use to change your profile. Okay, so hopefully, I think I got through all of that on that slide. Personalizing your plan, really important. And then I'm going to go right down to the chase. If you want quality, all natural supplements from an approved dispensary, these are supplements. They're not prescription medications. They are just things. They're, the herbs that are and have known to help mitigate menopausal symptoms. I have a dispensary through my Optimal DX, and it's called Full Script. And this one is on your screen here. There are many, but I just honed down right to this one. Menopausal support. This has everything you would need in it. And if you wanted to get this supplement to start yourself on, you could do that right away through my dispensary. And of course, you get a 10% discount. There's the link to it. There are a couple of them. I only showed you one. I only showed you one of many supplements because I spent the last week narrowing down like what is the one supplement that would really help, that has almost everything in it, all the natural herbs that help dampen down menopausal symptoms. I'm just going to say menopausal. This is it. Okay, menopause support is the one. You get a 10% discount through me. Oh my God, I sound like a salesperson. I don't, but I really am all about just putting the front end of this is the most important. This, though, leads me to say that if you're interested in the 3-month program, you saw that in the email when you registered. I'm going to be launching this very soon. Depending on how many people sign up, I can only take 6 people. I can't take any more because of what's involved in the program. But the program options are for the core for $1,200 for 3 months. You can see all of the things that you get. And of course, with the core program, you get weekly one-on-one functional nutrition support. You get bi-monthly webinars, which will teach you about everything about your internal biology and physiology. You get personalized food supplement and lifestyle plan and email support pretty much 24/7. If you email me, I'm going to respond. Access to other resources. The library that I have through Optimal DX it's really ridiculous. So any question you have, I'm going to pull resources from them. And then the functional blood chemistry analysis is not included in that. The premium is everything that the core has, I just described, but also the functional blood chemistry analysis. And we do that at several points, which is great because you get that on the front end. So you get sort of your reference point when you come into the program. And then 6 weeks later, we can do it again. And that's all included in that premium price. Because I have to pay $45 into the software to produce the results. So that's, there's a cost to me that's embedded in those program costs. Hopefully that makes sense.
Hey, Laura. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Real quick, I need to step out. But thank you so much for this. And I'll definitely keep an eye out if you send an email of any kind of follow-up material or the slides or anything like that. And it was so nice to actually talk to you sort of face to face almost.
Yay! Is that Emily?
Yeah, it's Emily.
Emily, thank you so much. Well, you're gonna get a gift. I have your email. Can you email me just in case?
Yeah, of
bless
course.
you. And I love your sister, so I love you. You're
Oh,
gonna get a gift, and you're gonna see it. It is my menopause cookbook. So I'm gonna get that.
oh, fantastic. That sounds awesome.
Yay! Awesome, Emily. Thank you so much for attending.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
We're almost done, everyone. I know I'm way over. Way over. Oh my God, I'm way over. It's your surprise gift, everybody. Emily, I already gave it away. You're going to get this in email. I'm going to give you a little preview of what it is, just to kind of psych you up, because it's not done. It's not complete. I'm still working on it to refine the recipes, but here's what it is. This is your menopause cookbook, Cooking with Purpose. That's the cover of the book. This is all about, blah. I don't think you can see that, small print, but it's all about like what this cookbook is intended to do. And then, my thank you for, using this cookbook. And then, oh my God, can you guys see that? General recipes for menopause. Okay, so this is going to go into general menopause recipes. And then this describes the eating principles for menopause, which is really, it's powerful. When you start, this is where the functional nutrition comes in, right? And I'm like over time and I'm like rushing the most important part. So sorry. But this cookbook is going to help educate you on how to think about eating for menopause. So the eating principles for menopause are in there. And then I also have, this is outside of the cookbook, a few recipes for you. You're going to get the PDF of this talk. So here's a good morning brew, really helpful for menopause. These are separate from the cookbook, okay? Midlife Oasis, just in case you can't wait for the cookbook. If you need to cook these things tomorrow, you're going to get this. Questions?
So when is like that
When does the thing
functional?
start? Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Is that Marina?
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. So my idea was to start the functional nutrition program. I wanted to do it October 1st.
Okay.
Didn't happen for many reasons. Why? Because I want for people to be ahead of the holidays. I wanted for people to get through it before we get into the holiday quagmire, right? And even before the new year. And so now, after this webinar, the intended aim is to get this launched at the end of October. So the last week of October. Now, what day? That depends. So it's going to be some day in that last day in terms of, when are the weekly meetings, right? That's where it becomes a little bit of a trick for me. Like, when's everybody available to have our once a week webinars? Comes a little bit down to that. Gets a little bit tricky for me, but end of October. And so watch for the launch dates.
Okay.
That could be longer
Yeah,
in
that's fine.
a minute,
Okay,
but that
thank
was
you.
already long enough. It's just, is that Marina? I'm sorry. And
Oh yeah.
Marina, I think you took, didn't you take?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot more that I'm building in. A lot
Okay.
more because of Optimal DX. Because I jumped into you were in my first program when I started my education with functional blood chemistry analysis. I was halfway through our 3-month program back then,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy, I know.
Yeah, I remember.
Insane.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Who have we got? Sarah. Sarah's still on. It's only Sarah and Marina.
Thank you, Laura. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm going to stop. If you guys are okay, I'm going to stop the recording for anybody who's going to be watching it. So, and then stay on if you can for our goodbyes and more questions. Thank you so much. Thank you for attending. I'm going to stop
Thank
the
you.
recording. Watch your email for your cookbook.
Great. And I really am excited about the morning beverage. I like to make drinks. I don't like cooking. So
Yeah, me too.
you're sending that
Yay!
are you sending that soon or
Yes,
after the cookbook or before the cookbook? I didn't quite.
yes. I will send you before the cookbook. I will send you the PDF of this presentation for sure.
Great. Oh, great. Cool. Okay. Thanks, Laura. Have a good
you.
night.